Hello everyone, hope you're doing awesome. I am Balaji Ramaswamy Natarajan, a Cambridge CELTA certified English language trainer and a communication coach. I have been interviewing a lot of professionals and asking them about what they have done so far in their career, how did they grow, and I just want them to share their stories. And I believe everyone's story is worth sharing. And today we have someone who has agreed to share the details of his professional journey with us. And he's none other than someone whom I have found extremely active in Toastmasters. His work was noticed even by people at higher positions as office bearers at the district level in Toastmasters. He is one person who made our club more visible for the people at the top positions because he was very actively working as a PR, as a vice president public relations. He also later contributed to the public relations office of a whole division which covers a lot of clubs in Bangalore and other parts of Karnataka. So now I would love to say a little bit more about him from his introduction. He's someone who loves to connect with people who are better than him, and he is currently working for HDFC Bank in its technology and digital division. He reads books that keeps him focused and helps him to create his own world and get lost in his thoughts. He enjoys rain, melody songs, and tea, stories. Learnings of his life intrigued Anjuman to start his podcast on Spotify, the Liquid Language podcast. I would urge all of you to try to listen to it. So now let's jump into this interaction with Anjuman. So I have been thinking of Anjuman as an IT professional because that's where I got to know him. But I think we are going to discover a lot more today. Um, Yes. So, Anjuman, let's hear from you. Please, to start with, thank you so much for joining us and agreeing to share your story with us. When I say us, me and my viewers. So, thank you for agreeing to be here today.
Thanks for this opportunity, Balaji.
Well, you're most welcome, Anjuman. To start with, please tell us more about yourself and your
Mm.
career.
Yeah, okay. So it was a chilling night. The year was 1991, and it was 31st of December. So everyone was celebrating the New Year Eve,
Hmm.
and that was the day I was born. And since then, I have been celebrating my birthday with the whole world.
Lovely.
So I was born and brought up in one small place, and not too small, but it's some kind of known. The place is Bali. No, not in Indonesia. It's in India. It's
Oh,
just an
okay.
adjacent district of. It's in an adjacent district of Kolkata. So I belong to West Bengal. So
Mm-hmm.
here only I completed my education from schooling. I did schooling, and then I graduated from West Bengal University of Technology. And after that, so I graduated in 2014, and after that, I stepped out for the very first time from my native place, and I attended to one internship in the port city of Mangaluru. So it was with another MNC, that is Infosys, and from there, first in my initial career, I almost 2 years I worked as a contractual employee in one or two small firms, and then I joined Wipro. So I stayed there for near about say 9 years, and then I switched, and now I'm working with HDFC Bank. So I
Wonderful.
started my career
Mm-hmm.
as an application developer.
Mm-hmm.
Just for a better understanding, so it's
Mm-hmm.
application developer means I started with writing codes. Okay, especially in Java and mostly in Java and Java related frameworks. But then somehow I found that I had a special interest in, data patterns and data analysis. So that's why
Okay.
I made a cautious transition to the,
Hmm.
cloud and databases. So now in my current organization also, I work as a senior database administrator.
Okay, just give me a minute. Sorry. Well, so now as a data analyst, what does a data analyst actually do?
So I mean, in my current role, I generally don't do data analysis much, but
Hmm.
for my previous assignments with Wipro,
Hmm.
there I was in one of the assignments where we had to do a lot of check data patterns because we had to use huge data sets, and then we have to just extract meaningful information from them. Just for example, say if you have um, a data set of say 10 crores or 20 crores or 30 crores, and then based on say demographics, or we had to just make some categorization and then
Hmm.
plot it in some kind of a dashboard kind of manner.
Hmm.
So that's how the it's data analysis means analyzing its data. It's the term is self-explanatory,
Hmm.
but nowadays the thing is with the advancement of advanced tools and all. So we create the different types of pipelines where we gather the data and then we make
And currently,
simple
mhm.
steps. Yes, yeah. Please go on.
Sorry, I was about to ask. Currently, you are working on cloud.
So currently I work in one of the cloud databases.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a very niche in the market. That
Mm-hmm.
database called Gigabyte DB.
Hmm. And what made you
So
choose
that's
this career?
hosted in cloud. So that's why I have to, on day-to-day basis, I have to work in one of the cloud providers, say be
Hmm.
it Google or Azure or Amazon.
Okay. What made you choose a career in IT?
Oh, so simply put, actually, I didn't choose, or maybe say, if I just want to give a brief background.
Mm-hmm.
So I graduated as an electronics and communication engineer,
Mm-hmm.
and then that time I just followed the opportunities that came to my path. So it was 1,800 candidates who were shortlisted for the internship that I mentioned earlier. That was the internship name was Spark IT. And the Infosys just shortlisted those candidates. I applied, then I just got selected. So I just thought that, okay, let's go there and learn something new. Though I knew that it may change uh, the path or the curriculum which I continued for 4 years in my graduation. Though we had a lot of overlapping subjects, that was true. But then slowly I found interest in those codings and say data. So that's how it just went on and on.
Mm-hmm. So, at some point you mentioned you went with the flow, something on those lines. Um,
Correct, correct.
so, do you like taking life that way?
Yes, pretty much so. Because I have seen that. I mean, in this context, I like to recall one of the favorite speeches that whenever I get time, I just revisit that speech. That speech was delivered by Steve Jobs back in 2005 at Stanford University,
Mm-hmm.
and there he said that our life is joining the dot, not forward but actually backward. So when now standing at this stage, when I look back, then I found that yes, it as of now, the journey that I have covered till date. So I have not just
Mm-hmm.
drawn those dots in a proper manner, maybe.
What do you think the future of your field will be?
Okay, so there's a lot of buzzwords are coming in. The advancement of AI is exponential, and we have to admit it. And slowly, I mean, even the top C-suite, or maybe the middle layer, or the lower uh, tier of any organization, now they have understood clearly that this AI thing is going to stay, and it's going to explode.
Hmm.
Explode in the sense it will just spread its wings, not only to the IT services, but it is penetrating each and every industry in some way or other.
Hmm.
But to be specific, uh, if you ask about my role as a database administrator, what I see that nowadays we have many assistant tools, say Google Gemini or Cloud, or say Copilot. So these tools are helping us to do automation, to do monitoring in a better way,
Hmm.
and in a faster way. For example, say if you have to just install some particular software on a particular server, so now you can just ask those Gen AI assistants that give me the
Hmm.
steps that how to install. So it gives you the from step one to step n everything, and you have just to follow them and then install.
Hmm.
Now it has gone a step farther as well. So just let's say Google Gemini. Okay. So if you install the Google Gemini CLI, that's a client or terminal version, okay, of Gemini. So if you just give them a prompt in simple English that, hey, I just want to install so and so software on this particular server, and if you have proper permissions where the server on which you have installed Google Gemini CLI, it has all the proper permissions and connections to interact with the outer internet, or maybe to some restricted repository. So it will bring those packages for you into that server, and it will even install it for you. So it has eased the task so that we can spend more time in the database performance analysis, doing more POCs. So that's quite fascinating on one hand. But on the other, there is an apprehension as well that, okay, so AI, well, all these techie jobs, I mean, most of the techie jobs will be taken away by AI. Here, I just want to go in a skeptical way. Why? Because there's a lot of hype also in with this, AI tools and all. And
Hmm.
every other day, you can listen to some or the other new tools that are coming in or making some disruption. But here it is that though some tools are making news, but the problem is that many of them are still not able to uh, deliver the enterprise level accuracy that we need. So that's why the return of interest, or ROI, is not that much that much seen or viewed, especially in regulated domain like BFSI as of now.
Hmm. Um,
So if I just you know make it in a nutshell, so for my role as database administrator, even in the coming days also, it will save a lot of time, because the lot of automations can be done using those GenAI tools, because either uh, it will help us to install things or take care of setting up other supported utilities in very less time, and we can spend more time in building new solutions or doing more proof of concepts type of things.
um,
But anyway, we are here to stay.
okay. So, what kinds of skills are required for a database analyst? Sorry, not a database administrator, which the role you are in now.
So it's a database administrator. This role is a kind. there hasn't been changed so much. So the conventional database administrator who has, first of all, if I start with, one has to have a good, logical mind, because when you play with data, that's the one thing that comes in the forefront.
Mm.
So you have to just have the capability to analyze the data and find the patterns. And then nowadays, it's super easy, even more super easy with this Gen AI tools and all, to learn those database concepts. So one has to have the database concepts. And the other thing is, nowadays, if someone is trying to make a career in database, so he or she has to have a good knowledge of cloud, because every other database is being hosted on cloud only, because on premise thing, I don't say that it's obsolete, but still it's on premises databases are there. But slowly and steadily there is a push from organizations across various industries that they are trying to migrate from on premise to cloud, and the only reason is to minimize the cost. So that's
Well,
why you
mhm,
have to familiar with the cloud terminologies, cloud platforms. It's not that you have to master the main three cloud providers in the market, that is Google, Microsoft's Azure, and Amazon's AWS. But I mean, if you have, please do so. But even if you have grip in one of those, it's okay.
mhm.
It's cool, because the fundamental thing remains the same, but definitely you have some features available on one service provider, some are not, and the names and terminologies are different. But if you have knowledge of one cloud service provider, you can play with the other two as well.
What do you think is the best way to keep up to date in today's world?
Oh, so we are now we are always bombarded with information. And I mean, we can't be an expert of everything. So, say
Mm.
from quantum computing to the latest K drama. So, it's not possible. So, what we can do is what I think. So, in my view, that first of all, we have to just find our interest. And based on that, we have to just segregate those informations. And there's a lot of noise in the sense disinformation, misinformation. And say, as I mentioned in one of my previous interactions with you, that there are a lot of buzzwords, and every day, if you just open up your LinkedIn or say Facebook or X, so you get to know that okay, some new tool or say a new AI tool, AI agent is making headline. But the thing is, in those cases, just give yourself some time. It's just put your FOMO in the back seat, and let's see if that particular AI agent has really has the capability or not. So if
Mhm.
it stays for some longer period, then you go and check out the features or what it tries to cater, or otherwise you will be lost. So for my case, what I generally do is say I try to gather information related to say databases. So what is happening across the world in the database, and where the industry is heading to. So I have confined myself because I know that it's not possible for me to learn and go and check every information, every trends or everything that is happening, because it's an ocean.
Yeah.
So that's why I just keep myself confined in the database and the database space. And obviously, the database is being integrated with the AI tools and all. So that I try to get information and be updated. But that's the generalized maybe the suggestion. that find your interest, segregate, and then noise the filter.
Wonderful. So now I think that that gives you clarity to, uh, bring your focus back to what matters to you instead of what matters to
Correct,
everyone in
correct.
the world. Well, Anjuman, what
And
is the
the other thing is, um, so as you mentioned in your question itself, that you have to keep yourself updated. So that is one key factor.
well, Anjuman, what's the biggest challenge you have faced in your career?
Biggest challenge. So it was not that much. I don't have to go way back, but it's quite recent. It happened in 2023.
Mm-hmm,
And I found myself that I was standing at the edge of a cliff that
mm-hmm,
I didn't know that it existed. So that time I was working from my previous organization.
mm-hmm,
And that time our long term project was about to ramp down. And we knew that. But instead of a smooth ramp down, so at the 11th hour, our manager, she resigned. And the team had faced an reorientation, and suddenly the transition in the sense, and it was ramping down, so we had to hand over those tasks, documentations, everything to the client. So it was just a new additional responsibility, okay, that was given to me, and I was not at all ready. So that was one challenging moment. Why?
how did
Because
you
on
handle it
one hand,
finally?
yeah, so actually on one hand, so I had to search for a new project because my project was going to ramp down, and on the other, that I had to given, I mean, I had to deliver the the project. Obviously, there was another lead as well with me, working with me closely,
Mm,
and then we had to deliver that work in a stipulated time. I mean, we had to arrange many, knowledge transfer sessions. We had to hand over the documents and all, and it exhausted not only my weekdays but my weekends also.
mm,
And my soft skills that time was battle tested. So I had to interact with say 9 or 10 regional offices of the client that time, and it was all of a sudden. And those interactions were sometimes went very rough because they were not ready to initiate a conversation afresh with a new person because they were interacting with the Sri.
mm,
But I had full support of Sri. Even Sri left the organization, but she was there and she supported me. She provided timely suggestions that what to do and what not to do. And I also realized that time the power of networking, and which I learned pretty much from Toastmasters, and that helped me a lot. And finally, I boosted up the team that I had that time, and I clear cut. I made a proper plan with timeline that within this time to this time we will deliver this, from that to that we will deliver the second thing. Like that, I prepared a whole chart, and I kept revisiting that particular chart, and just to see that where we stood, and wherever required, I just provided support to my team. And the other lead, whose name was Anita,
mm-hmm,
she also supported me a lot because anyway we had to mutually support each other to navigate through the head crisis period. But it was really challenging. But then somehow we made it. I made it. I paved my way. So we handed it over. We did a successful transition. And as I mentioned, the networking thing. Okay, so I was at some time I was frantically searching for a project. And as you also worked in uh, the IT domain, so you are aware of this bench period. So I didn't want to see myself in that situation. So I reached out to anyone and everyone I knew in that organization, and something miracle happened out of the blue. So there was a person named Molik Yagnik, who was also a Toastmaster, a former
Mhm.
Toastmaster. So I reached out to him over mail, and then he one day he called me back. We were then in the same organization. So he just called me back out of the blue. I didn't expect also, and he just told me, "Okay, do you want to work in a BFSI domain project?" So I told him, "Yes, fine." So he said that, "Okay, uh, let's see." And then after say 2 or 3 days, I got a call from that particular project, and they interviewed me, and I made it through, and
Wonderful.
then they onboarded me in that project.
Great. So, would you say that this was your best learning experience as well?
Yes, correct. Because I learned about leadership in that, say, 6 or 7 months. Uh, and that transition, say, from panic to performance taught me, leadership. And I also realized that leadership is somehow, 10 to 15%, or maybe 10% skill, and say 90% is attitude. Okay.
Wow.
And
Wow. It's a very important lesson, I guess. You put it in a single
and
line, but yeah.
she was very much right. I mean, she kept me telling that it's and I mean, during those crisis moments, she used to tell me, now this is your uh, squeeze, steer, and serve moment. Okay, so the sourness of unexpected responsibility was the exact ingredient so you need. So now you
Wow.
have it. Now it's sometimes it's a basket of lemons dropped in our lap when we least expect it.
Um,
So it just they happened like that way. Just
mm,
I just took the challenge, and then obviously it was not smooth, but then I learned how to handle things, how to lead a team. So it gave me a that crisis period somehow gave birth of a leader within me.
wonderful. So you have spoken a lot about leadership and your career, but now my last question with respect to my department,
Mhm.
because I think my viewers would like to know about this, and I would also like to know how did you work on improving your proficiency in English and your communication skills?
Oh, okay. So it started long back actually during my school days.
Hmm.
So as I mentioned that I belong to West Bengal, and I went to state board here. So I didn't go to English medium school. Okay. But one good thing happened in my school was when I was in seventh standard. That time, my school administration, thanks to my school, it was the name of the school is Uttarpara Model. So they realized that now we have to train our students in spoken English. And that time they brought one teacher whose name is Sharmi Sharkar, and I'm still in touch with her. So
Wow.
that time she used to um, teach in British Institute as well, and she came and she did the groundwork for me and for the other students as well. So those are the times when we had no YouTubes,
Hmm. Hmm.
no the Spotify and other things. And first of all, to learn or to enhance the listening skills, so she used to bring her tape recorder with cassettes, and then she used to play in those spoken English classes. And then she used to give us certain scenarios. Some days we were given a task to tell a story in English. Maybe that story we have read it in my native language, that is Bengali,
Hmm.
and then just we had to narrate that story in English in the class, or maybe we have to converse with another student in English. So like that, the foundation started from there. But then when I entered
It was
in
an
my
activity
graduation,
based session,
yes,
something like
yes,
an
correct.
English
So there
lab
was no
or a
theory
communication
class,
lab.
only practical.
Lovely.
Correct, correct.
Alright.
So
And
that
which year
was
was this approximately?
it was 2005,
Wow, wonderful.
2004, 2005.
And I'm extremely grateful for teachers like this and schools that take such initiatives. So, can you mention the name of the school and the teacher once again, please?
Yes, yes, it is Uttarpara Model School. So Uttarpara is the place where the school is, and that's how the name is. The Uttarpara, the place name, and Model School.
Thank you.
And
Yeah, and the
and the
teacher's name.
teacher name is Shormi Sarkar. So now she also works for the L&D department of another MNC in India.
Great. Wonderful.
So that's how it started. But when I entered the graduation, then I found that okay, now I just need to uplift myself in the next stage. So during say third year or fourth year, that time, apart from my technical subjects, I spent it's just from my inner urge. So I spent a lot of time in reading and then speaking in English. But that inner drive was something like that. The behind push was say the placements where I mean it was just about to happen. So the companies they started to visit our college campuses. So that's why I thought that okay, no, I have to just give some extra focus on my communication skills as well. Otherwise, maybe I couldn't make it through in the interviews. But then, actually, even after graduating, I didn't go for a direct a campus recruitment, though I had one offer. But then I thought that no, let's take the other one because that Spark IT program was very much. I found it beneficial, and actually, it was because it came with a big brand name Infosys, so that's why I opted to that opportunity. And in those internship days, every Saturday, we had our soft skill grooming classes.
Hmm.
Now, this makes interesting because that was the time I first knew that there is something called Toastmasters because those soft skills sessions were taken by the Infosys Toastmasters members.
Ah, lovely. Okay. Interesting.
And then, yes, I inquired that how can I join and all. They provided me all the details, but then they said that, say, maybe if you will not be here in this campus, so we can't, onboard you in our clubs. But these are the relevant information. So maybe once you are in to some organization, and then you can just join any community or corporate clubs of Toastmasters. But that desire was again a desire for another, say, 5 or 6 years.
My God.
And after that, again, my the elder sister, she insisted because she is also a former Toastmaster. So she insisted in me that okay, enough is enough. So now there were other priorities that you have already handled.
Mhm.
So around say 2021, so she insisted in me that uh, now you join Toastmasters. So then I joined Toastmasters, and I just nurtured myself in not only my personal development, but also in this communication and um, you know communication and proficiency in English. So that's how it began. It's began, and I made this journey. So that also somehow maybe gives you the sense that the, the context with which I started this conversation, that I always just followed the flow of life. That I
Yeah, go with the flow.
Just
Yeah.
accepted it with open arms. How those opportunities came, and it was not always very much easy. I had obviously setbacks at personal and professional levels as well,
Mhm.
but still I somehow managed to sail through.
Beautiful.
And nowadays, for this Toastmasters, there are some good habits that I follow. Number one is, if someone wants to improve their communication skill, one thing, one can just read aloud. So anything, say any article, or say English newspaper, or into English literature, whatever someone is reading. So my request would be, they can just read aloud, because it has
Hmm.
improved myself in correcting my pronunciation and diction. And the other thing is, what I do is I listen to many podcasts. So nowadays, I don't know why the video interviews are also, people, they mark it as podcast, but I listen to audio podcast, the real, uh, to get the real flavor. Why I do so? Because I want to hear the I want to listen to the art of articulation and narration, that how to bring out your emotions, how to express yourself with emotions. So these things I was not aware. Frankly
Okay.
speaking, I was not aware. But after joining this Toastmasters, after interacting with a lot of peoples like you, so I have learned this, that okay, these are the small, small techniques. We can do it every day. We can just accommodate some time in the day, and say half an hour or 40 minutes based on your busy schedule. And then you just keep doing it every day, and you will see your organic growth.
Very well. Thank you, Anjuman, for sharing all the details and giving us very detailed answers for our questions. And thank you for teaching us to embrace the flow of life. Thanks a lot, Anjuman, for your time and your answers too.
Thank you, thank you, thank you once again for giving me this opportunity on this platform.